Frank and I weren't looking for trouble. We were looking for solutions, and we had a good one, and we still have a good one. But we stayed shut down for that day. We weren't sure of the legality of it, and we were doing our best to play nice. We were doing our best to respect the institution of this country and the systems therein. Friday, we said, screw this, we're opening. So we opened up again after we read the health department shutdown that was based on a registered nurse who is the head of the health department in New Jersey, a registered nurse, not a virologist, not an epidemiologist, an RN. So we decided to ignore it. On Friday, we opened. We had probably our most normal day of that week. And at the end of the day, we had all gone home, and our lawyers got a call from the Attorney General. And right before the closing bell, Governor Murphy put a motion for a a court order for us to shut down. Governor Murphy uses a judge named Judge Robert Lughi. And in the state of New Jersey, we do not have elected judges, we have appointed judges. These judges do not answer to the public, they answer to the politicians that put them there. Not only do they get appointed, but most of them are tenured. So they're like a bad teacher. And they do not respect the law because they do not have to. There's no standard at which they have to do their job because there's no accountability. So Judge Robert Lughi, he's an interesting character in this story. We'll just call him Governor Murphy's lapdog from here on out. Judge Robert Lughi put a court order for us to shut down, and they came in the middle of the night, and they changed the locks on our business. Without our permission, our business, where we have paid our rent, where we are up to date on our bills, they came and they locked our doors. So at that point, Frank and I, we decided we were going to play nice. We turned it over to the courts. Okay, we made our protest. We put a little bit of faith in the system, and we thought that the courts would offer the checks and balances that they are supposed to offer. They didn't. We grew weary, and we decided that we were going to reopen. Thankfully, Rock Bottom Nutrition is inside there, and technically that's in essential business. Once they found that out, they handed the keys back over. And in the meantime, we were taking our gym equipment outside every single day. We were pulling 30,000 pounds worth of machinery, squat racks, bench presses, dumbbells, barbells, you name it. We pulled the entire gym out into the parking lot every single day and put it back every single day. And we were having 300 people a day show up in the middle of June on the blacktop to work out, just to prove a point, and just because they wanted to. So on July 4th, we had enough. And we figured that was a good day to get arrested, Independence Day. So we said, no more outside, everybody back inside. Unfortunately, they didn't come arrest us that day. That would have been good headline news. But they did put forth a motion to hold us in contempt of court. And of course they did. We were in contempt of court. A judge told us to shut down. We said no. At that point, things escalated pretty quickly. We started getting fined $15,000 per day, $15,497.76 per day for every day that we were in operation. And we are a gym. We are a small gym that charges people $30 a month, and at the time wasn't even charging people. To date, we have not charged any of our members since the shutdown. We operate entirely off donations because it was never about the money, it was always about the principle. $15,000 a day fine. They took $172,000 from our bank account in the middle of the night, in the middle of ongoing litigation, trying to shut us down. In August, they stripped us of our business license. We were never found guilty of a crime. We still not have been found guilty of any crime. And they never put any evidence forth that we were any danger to the public. We had plenty of evidence, that contact tracing system. At the time, I think we had about 100,000 visits with no outbreaks linked to our facility. To date, we, sometime next week, I believe, we're up in the 290,000 mark. We will break 300,000 visits to our little gym in New Jersey with not a single outbreak linked to our facility. We have a nice stack of paperwork about this high by 5 feet by 5 feet. And we like to take a picture next to it every time we hit 100,000. So we make sure Governor Murphy sees that, and nonetheless, nobody's ever come to look at that pile because there are no cases in there. We've been arrested. Our members have been arrested. We've been persecuted. They've tried to shut off our electric. We've caught people out back messing with our plumbing 7 different times, costing us thousands of dollars. And the premise was really simple. There was a really simple game plan for Frank and I. Open the gym. Open the gym. Open the gym, no matter what. That was our mission. It was simple. We didn't overcomplicate it. They weren't going to come into our lives and tell us that we couldn't provide for ourselves and our families. So we just kept opening the gym. They came to shut our doors again, and this time we weren't quite sure what we were going to do. And I was messaging a friend, another gym owner who kept his gym open. His name's Lou Uridel out in California. And all of us small businesses who were openly defying these orders, we were all spread out all over the country, and unfortunately, each state or each municipality was using different tools to shut people down. So we couldn't help each other. All we could do was communicate. And I texted Lou, and I'm like, they're coming to lock our doors again. And Lou texts back, and he goes, take them off. And it was one of those moments where you laugh at first, and then you're like, wait a second. And I walked over to Frank, and I said it to Frank, and he kind of looked at me, and next thing I know, I hear the drill going, and the doors are coming off. So at that point, things had just continued to escalate, and we weren't going to back down. They had proved the hunch that we had. We thought these people had bad intentions, and if they had good intentions, they would have worked with us. But they just kept escalating. So did we. Because now it's personal. Now you're trying to ruin my life. You're trying to ruin my business partner's life. And that's just not going to happen. It's not. Nobody was coming to save us except ourselves. And that's a really scary thing when you first have to come to terms with that big elephant in the room. That nobody was going to fix this problem for us. There was no bailout. There was no politician who was going to wave a magic wand and make this all go away. The only people that were going to get us out of this scenario was Frank and I. So we took the doors off. We opened the gym for 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, until they finally came and arrested us and boarded the doors up. Frank and I took a little break after we got out of the holding cell. I think we took about 2 days off, and the plan was open the gym. So we called the national media. We called Tucker Carlson, and we said, we'll have a story for you tonight. We put out sounded the alarm to our supporters who have been incredibly good to us. Not only around the country, but especially the people in and around New Jersey, Pennsylvania, who would show up in our parking lot anytime we asked them to. Put the word out, and Frank and I decided that we were going to reenact the movie 300, and we stood in front of the flimsy plywood that they stuck in front of our door, which I don't know why they didn't use at least something a little bit better, knowing that it's a pretty heavy hitter gym. And we kicked the doors in. We turned the lights on, we turned the music back on, and we resumed business right back inside. And that has led us 19 months down the road of this game of tit for tat with a government that is not only unwilling to work with people, but feels like it doesn't have to. And there's something fundamentally wrong about that. It's not what this country was founded on. It's so far from what this country was founded on that it's actually pretty scary.